Good evening. As you know, we are together tonight for this new Soyuz frigate launch to inject into orbit 6 Globalstar 2 satellites. And the launch was planned yesterday, but it has been delayed due to bad weather conditions here in Baikonur, Kazakhstan. So now the weather seems to be okay for this launch, and our teams are ready. The satellites, of course, are ready, and these are 6 new Globalstar 2 satellites after the 18 satellites that we already launched during the last years. The launch vehicle is ready, and tonight this launch is an Arianespace Starsem launch, and this is the 26th Starsem launch from Baikonur here in Kazakhstan. And last but not least, the Baikonur Cosmodrome is ready, and the weather is green. And so I think that we are going to have now this launch of new Globalstar 2 satellites, 6 Globalstar 2 satellites on a Soyuz, and this is a launch by Arianespace and Starsem.
Welcome to the first launch of Arianespace Starsem of this year, 2013. This launch is from the Space Center of Baikonur. My name is Jérôme Thierry. I will present this fourth launch of Globalstar 2. That is also the 12th launch of Globalstar, the 26th launch of Starsem, and the 1799th launch of Soyuz. Today the launch is foreseen at 10 p.m. 4 minutes and 24 seconds in Baikonur time. In Paris it will be 5 hours before, and San Francisco it will be in the morning. So previously the launch was planned yesterday, but due to bad weather conditions the launch was delayed by 24 hours. In fact, it's not 24 hours, it's 23 hours and 44 minutes because we are going to use exactly the same trajectory. But let's have a look at the mission of this evening. So today we are launching 6 spacecraft, 6 Globalstar spacecraft manufactured by Thales Alenia Space. These 6 Globalstar are from the second generation, yet 18 spacecraft has been launched successfully by Arianespace and Starsem. So the mass of each of these spacecraft is 660 kilograms, so that means represent performance on 4.6 tons in low orbit at 920 kilometers on an inclination of 52 degrees. So now we are at 11 minutes before the launch, and up to now everything is nominal. We receive the readiness for launch minus 10 minutes, everything is confirmed. I am in direct line with Baikonur to follow and to trace with you the operation in this last minutes of the chronology, and after afterwards the launch phase. But before to present the launch campaign, some information about the deliveries of the different hardware in Baikonur. So the satellites were delivered in 3 batches. The first one in 17 October, the second one in November 14, and the third one in December 8 of this year. The dispenser was delivered in July 31st in 2010. The Soyuz stage and fairing was delivered in April 2012, and the frigate was delivered in 2011. But let's have a look to the launch campaign. The spacecraft were shipped in Baikonur by planes, as I said, in 3 batches, so 3 planes. They are transferred from the airport to the MiG-112, the StarSem facilities by train, and when they are in this facility, they are prepared, finalized, and electric check. You can see the finalization of the MLI. When the spacecraft are ready, they are fueled in the HPF, the hazardous payload facility, and they are assembled in the two parts of the dispenser, so two satellites on the upper part of the dispenser and 4 in the lower part of the dispenser. When this operation are finalized, we assemble the two parts of the dispenser and we move the composite to another building that is the USIF. When the dispenser plus the 6 spacecraft are in the USIF, they are installed onto the frigate upper stage, so the fourth stage, the stage that will lead the 6 spacecraft to their final orbit. You can see the frigate, it is the yellow structure with the MLI, and when all the electrical check and mechanical check are performed, this composite is tilted to the horizontal position in order to be able to install the fairing, the ST fairing. So these operations are performed manually. Everything is performed in the StarSem facility, and when this part is totally assembled, so that means that the frigate 6 spacecraft plus the dispenser are installed inside the fairing, this composite is transferred from the MiG-112 to the MiG-40 by train with a 9-hour trip in order to be installed on the Blocky, that is the third stage of the launch vehicle. In parallel, in this MiG-40, the 4 boosters are mounted on the central core, you can see on the screen, and the upper part with the Blocky is installed horizontally with the paquet before to be transferred from the MiG-40 to the launch pad. This operation is also performed by train. Its operation is the final rollout. It's performed at 7:30 in the morning. It was performed the February 2nd. It's always performed at the same time. And at this moment, this operation has a duration of roughly 1 hour. And the launcher is installed on the launch pad. And you can see the 4 arms that will support the 4 arms, with 4 green arms that will support, in fact, the launcher in this vertical position. We will install the servicing tower. You can see it is the 2 big parts that are on the side, and we have also the fairing cover in order to protect the spacecraft from the thermal conditions. So now we are at 6 minutes before the launch, and up to now everything is nominal. We receive the readiness for launch minus 1 minute, so now we know that we will go up to at least liftoff minus 1 minute. But now I would like to come back to the mission, to this mission. So the history that we have with Globalstar, it's a great cooperation, as mentioned by Jean-Yves Le Gall. The first 6 launches of Globalstar was performed with Soyuz with the upper stage ICAR. The 2 following was with Frégate, now with a new version of Soyuz, and it helped to go to French Guiana.
The exploitation of the Soyuz launch vehicle from Baikonur started in 1999. Six launches were executed successfully with the ICAR upper stage. In 2000, the Frégate upper stage was introduced for the Cluster 2 mission. The development of this stage authorized various types of missions with the Soyuz launch vehicle. Scientific missions like Mars Express and Venus Express, geostationary missions like Amos 2 and Galaxy 14, and also the continuation of the development of the Globalstar constellation. The next 2 important steps from Baikonur were executed in 2006. The first one was the introduction of the digital control system and the ST fairing on the Soyuz launch vehicle for the METOP launch. The second step was the introduction of the new engine RD-0124 for the Kourou missions. All these successes and the new developments were necessary steps for the introduction of the Soyuz in French Guiana. The first mission from the Guyana Space Center occurred in 2011. 2 missions were executed within less than 2 months. The first Galileo mission in October and the Pléiades 1A mission in December. Again, 2 missions were successfully executed in 2012. For Galileo, the second launch, and for Pléiades, the second launch. Now, the Soyuz launch vehicle is totally operational, as it will be demonstrated this year with 4 missions executed from the Guyana Space Center. The Soyuz launch vehicle perfectly complements the family of Arianespace launch vehicles. It gives to the customer various possibilities of launches, both for governmental missions or commercial missions.
Let's come back to Baikonur on the launch of this evening. So now we are at 3 minutes and 30 seconds before the launch, and I have a confirmation that up to now everything is nominal. So let's have a quick look of all the steps that was done during this launch campaign. So the launcher is ready, the satellites have been prepared properly. The integration of the satellites has been performed of the dispenser. We perform the installation of the fairing. We transfer the upper part from the MiG-112 to the MiG-40 in January 2029. We perform the TRR to authorize the rollout, the transfer readiness renew in order to perform the rollout between the MiG-40 on the launch pad the 1st of February. This operation was performed the 2nd of February. We obtained the authorization to fuel the launcher at liftoff minus 4 hours. This operation was finalized at liftoff minus 1 hour and 20 minutes. The servicing towers were rotated at H0 minus 20 minutes, and we have obtained all the readiness for launch up to H0 minus 1 minute. So now the drop-off command has been performed, so everything is nominal. The spacecraft are close to be autonomous now. The launcher is also close to be autonomous. So what we're going to see now, roughly at liftoff minus 40 seconds, we will be on board. I have the confirmation that the umbilical drop-off command have been sent. And between liftoff minus 20 seconds and liftoff, there will be different level of thrust in the boosters, in the engines of the central core on the 4 boosters. There will be 3 stages at 3 levels at L0 minus 17 seconds, 15 seconds, 6 seconds in order to have a liftoff at H0. That is not exactly the same case than in French Guiana for Ariane 5, where we start the ignition of the Vulcain 2 at H0. So now we are at H0 minus 50 seconds. I will let you enjoy the liftoff of this 4th Globalstar 2 mission, this 26th mission of StarSem, and this 1799th launch of Soyuz. Okay, so this is the 1799th liftoff of Soyuz. So everything is nominal. I have a confirmation by phone. All is nominal. So now, what you are going to see during this phase? In fact, during this launch, there will be three phases. The first one will be between the liftoff and the separation of the nose module. The nose module, that is the frigate plus the dispenser plus the six spacecraft. And this phase has a duration of roughly 8 minutes and 50 seconds. After, we will have a second phase where we'll have only frigate plus the dispenser plus the six spacecraft. And during this phase, there will be two boosts. One first boost to go to the transfer orbit, and a second boost to circularize this orbit to go to the final orbit. You can see on the screen this very beautiful image of the launcher. I have a confirmation that all the parameters are okay. And maybe if you are very lucky, we will be able to see the separation of the booster on the image. But up to now, everything is okay. So during this phase of frigate, so after the second boost, we will separate the six spacecraft, so the two in the upper part and the four in the lower part. And after this phase, there will be a last boost in order to re-enter the frigate upper stage in the atmosphere. I have a confirmation that the four boosters were separated nominally. So we are at 2 minutes and 40 seconds after liftoff. So following this separation of the first stage, there will be the second separation, the separation of the central core, that will be at 4 minutes and 47 seconds. And 10 seconds after, there will be the fairing separation. This operation is very interesting because in 10 seconds, we will separate the central core, we will open the fairing, and we will initiate the engine of the first stage of the Block E. That is for this mission, the RD-110, because we used a Soyuz 21A. And the Block E will have a propulsion during roughly 4 minutes, and at the end, we will stop the engine of the second of this first stage in order to allow the separation of the first stage and to separate from the nose module. So up to now, everything is nominal. So the second stage works properly. So let's continue. Maybe some information about these two launchers, the Soyuz 21A and the 21B. In fact, we have a capability to use these two launchers depending on the mission in order to optimize the mission. The Soyuz 21B being more powerful than the Soyuz 21A. And thanks to the capability of the Soyuz 21B and the localization of French Guiana, this time in French Guiana, we have the capability to launch in GTO spacecraft up to 3.2 tons, 3.25 tons, that represent a small spacecraft of 7.5 kilowatt. So I propose to have a short movie on the frigate upper stage in 1 minute in order to give you more information about this stage. That is also a very interesting upper structure, allowing different various mission. So up to now, everything is nominal. We have the confirmation of the good pressurization of the third stage, the separation of the second stage, we have a good, little feedback on the liftoff on the screen. So I have a confirmation that everything is nominal. So before to have a confirmation of the ST fairing separation, let's have a look on the frégate upper stage.
L'étage frégate, c'est un
frégate is the upper stage beneath the fairing of the Soyuz launcher that was developed with NPO Lavochkin back in 1999-2000 for ESA's cluster launch.
Donc c'est un étage qui est extrêmement intéressant.
It is extremely lightweight and fully autonomous,
dispose de son propre moteur, de son
thanks
propre système
to its own engine and guidance system. It can be used as an additional stage on the Soyuz launcher.
Cet étage présente la particularité
It functions with a cerebral propellants and can be reignited around 20 times. Thanks to fregate's reignitability, it can reach a range of different orbits. Sun-synchronous orbits for Earth observation missions, optical or radar observations, geostationary missions with an ejection point at 36,000 kilometers, with payload injection conditions identical to those of Ariane 5. It also allows for medium and high orbit missions, such as the launch of the Galileo constellation. Most frigate missions require 2 ignitions. It can, however, be reignited up to 20 times, which means that relatively complex missions are possible, with a change of orbital plane or orbit altitude. This specific feature was used for the Pleiades ELISA SSOT mission in 2011, where 5 different satellites were placed on 2 different orbits thanks to a total of 4 firings of the main engine. Frigate is perfect for in-space business as it offers GTO up to 3.1 tons, SSO launches, or the launch of constellations such as Galileo or Globalstar.
So I have a confirmation of the good fairing separation, so everything is nominal and the third stage operates nominally. Maybe a short word about the ground station. So during this mission we used in fact Russian ground station on the ground station of Ozagel. So that means that just after the first boost of frégate, we will be outside of visibility, and the second burn of frégate will be outside of visibility, and for the separation of the spacecraft we will re-enter in the visibility of the Russian station that allow us to confirm the separation in first part of the 5 and 6 spacecraft, and after the separation of the 4 lower spacecraft. So according to the flight prediction, we have separated the third stage. 1 minute after the separation, we will initiate the engine of the frégate, so it will be the first boost. So this first boost we allow to go from a suborbital trajectory that is with an altitude of 200 km. So now the dispenser plus the 6 spacecraft plus the nose module are with an altitude of 200 km with an inclination of 51.7 degree with a velocity of 7.39 meters per second according to the prediction. So we have a confirmation that the third stage has been separated. So I should say that up to now everything is okay. And after this first boost, not after, but before this first boost, there is a pre-boost in order to prepare the pre-boost on an attitude that is performed in order to put the frigate in the good position to perform this first boost that allow to go from the suborbital orbit to the transfer orbit. We just active the frégate, so everything is nominal, and with this first boost that have a duration of 4 minutes, we will go from we will go to the transfer orbit, and at the end we will have a second boost in order to circularize this orbit to go to the 920 kilometers of the global star orbit on this 52 degree of inclination. So we have a confirmation that this pre-burn has been done. So now I will let you. You will have the information of the end of this mission of the Arianespace website. That correspond to this information will be available in roughly 1 hour and 30 minutes. I should say see you tomorrow, because tomorrow we will have another launch from another launch pad from French Guiana with the launcher Ariane 5. That will be the first launch of Ariane 5 of Arianespace this year. So I should say goodbye and see you in the website. Thank you, bye bye.